Okay, so this week for the Burning River news story of the week. In an unfortunate turn of events last week, the city of Cleveland announced that it is shutting down the West 6th Tailgate. And so for anyone that doesn't know, that is superfan Pumpkinhead's tailgate. So to discuss exactly what's happening and whether or not something can be done to get those tailgates back, please help me welcome back to the show Gus Angelone, a.k.a. Pumpkinhead.
What's
Gus, how are you?
Just let me start off the interview with let's go Guards.
Hell yeah. Hell yes. Hell yes. So Gus, what happened?
Yeah, so there's been widely publicized these street takeovers here in Cleveland. They've kind of been taking over the streets, all of the streets really downtown. My tailgates are widely popular. We've been having, and on average, 2,000 to 3,000 guests come to the tailgate to enjoy the pregame festivities every Browns home game, and we've been doing this for 14 years now. Unfortunately, they were canceled for the 2024 season, and I'm told postponed till next year for the 2025 season. So with that being said, these street takeovers are happening on West 6th Street where we conduct our tailgates. Just for the record, it's a very family-friendly event. We welcome everybody. One of my favorite things of the tailgates, I like to welcome fans from other teams. I even have certain things that I do to kind of razz them, but in a fun way. And unfortunately, the tailgates have been canceled this year. So these street takeovers have happened on West 6th Street. The city officials are looking for somebody to blame, and unfortunately, the finger's pointing directly at me and my partners and sponsors.
So let me understand, because it sounds like, just from what I've seen so far, it sounds like these aren't necessarily even happening during the tailgate. It's happening or like after, like during the game? Like, can you shed some light on that? Yeah.
So again, just to go on the record, we've never had a single incident in 14 years, not a fist fight, nothing at the tailgate. So these occurrences with these street takeover criminals are happening outside the tailgate or near the tailgate on the same street that we host our tailgates. So really has nothing to do with us. It's just the city looking to point the finger at somebody. And like I said, they're saying the tailgates are attracting these people, which is completely false and untrue. But unfortunately, the tailgates have become so large. We are at the mercy of the city because we need permits, and we have street closures. We reroute the RTA bus system. It's really a production to even curb the riffraff even more. Like I said, we were averaging 2,000 to 3,000 people a game. So this year we put a cap of 1,500, and we also started to charge admission to keep the nonsense out. It was a $5 admission charge. We did that for the first two games. As I said, there's 6 more to go, but they've been canceled, and all of the admission fees went to a charity. So it was really just to kind of deter anybody from wanting to come in and cause trouble. But again, we never really had any trouble, but we were just trying to demonstrate to the city that we're going to take precautions. We're going to try to help deter any trouble. And unfortunately, all of our efforts have gone by the wayside, and the tailgates have been canceled.
And again, these are permitted events, right? Like you've put permits, and is there Cleveland PD on scene? I'd assume at certain places just to help crowd control.
Yes, so we hire Cleveland police officers. We pay their overtime, and we're talking about 20 to 25 officers on scene. Plus, all of the bars have their own security and bouncers. In addition to, I have my own security and staff that helps. This is not. I know it's classified or titled a tailgate, but it's anything but a tailgate. This is a Browns festival that we put on for the city. It's very well known. The pictures and the videos are very well accessible. So people know what we're doing. Again, this is how I like to say it's a Browns tailgate for people that that don't want to pack a grill and a 12-pack, but yet they want to participate in some kind of pregame festivities. So they come to our party, they get a show, everything's a la carte. You want a beer, there's vendors out there, food trucks. So it's really something special that, we've done for the city that no one else has been doing. And, unfortunately, this Sunday will be the first Brown Sunday in 14 years that we will not be having or hosting our tailgate.
That's unfortunate.
Well, I know, like your event, correct me if I'm wrong, you have some sort of, I don't know the exact affiliation, but you have some sort of affiliation with the actual Browns in some way or another. And you've had guests like Bernie Kosar's there regularly to kind of, get the crowd pumped up and ready to go for the game, along with a plethora of other guests, Browns alumni, those types of things. So obviously, like, this is a place people want to be.
Yeah, like, it's not like a fly-by-night operation. Like, this is a pretty well-known public event.
Yes.
So I guess it's okay. So it's been canceled for right now. Like, where does that leave you? Are you trying to put on an alternative event somewhere in the meantime for folks, or are we just kind of in a wait and see mode until we can figure something out with the city?
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been unsuccessful in trying to find a new location. I've become so large in what I've done and what I do with my sponsors and partners that I need a space where I can have 2,000 guests and we can have a party and and we can bring in food trucks and we can sell beer. But I've been graciously. I just want to thank everybody that's invited me and my friends and family to join their tailgates, from the Muni lot to the pit to under the bridge, down to the flats. I mean, I've been invited so many places, and it really just shows you the camaraderie of Browns fans. But unfortunately, with the amount of setup and equipment that I have, and if you give me lead time and I say, hey, Pumpkinhead's going to be in the Muni lot, you're going to have 2,000 people that are going to show up to want to party with me. And the Muni lot, I believe they charge like $75 a spot. Well, I'm going to need like 5-6 spots just for my equipment. And then as the Muni lot community goes, those are little tailgates. It's a very organic thing in the Muni lot. I'm running a business here. I'm running a community event, and I don't want to go to the Muni lot and ruin or take over what they've done for many years. I need my own personal lot, and not that it's an ego thing. It's just something that people have come to used to when they hear me, or they hear the word Pumpkinhead, tailgate. These are large scale events. And it's a shame that I've been unsuccessful finding a relocation.
Can you give it? I mean, I'm assuming you talked to some of like the businesses downtown in that area. Like, sure. Is there a temperature around, like, I don't want you to throw anybody else like specifically under the bus, but like what their thoughts are on it? Like, are they disappointed that they're going to not have all those people there, or were they having issues with crime as well?
I mean, really, it's not. The crime is not an issue with any of my sponsors or my partners. Really, it's just the city looking for a scapegoat to place blame on someone, which is ironic because we have our first home game coming up since the tailgate's been canceled on this Sunday, the 20th. So, again, my 4 bar partners, the Barley House, Ivy, Dive Bar, and Velvet Dog, we're all very curious to see what's going to transpire here on the 20th. When we all know the same thing's going to happen, but there's going to be no tailgate for them to blame. So, we will be having cameras and drones, and believe me, it will be well documented. They have that saying, you don't poke the bear. Well, Browns fans are dogs, so you want to poke that dog, especially the dog with the pumpkin on his head. I'm not going quietly. So, with that being said, I'm also starting a campaign. I will be doing rallies at my sponsoring bars. It's going to be called Save Our Tailgate. I'm also starting an online petition. People can participate in that, sign their name. Basically, we want to show the mayor of Cleveland, Justin Bibb, how important these events have become, what they mean to the community. And again, yes, we're running a tailgate. Yes, we're being paid and then all these things, but we also donate a significant amount of the revenue to charity. So not only are you hurting the tailgate and small businesses involved, but you're also taking away from charities that we've been working with over the last decade and a half.
Yeah. And so two things real quick. First of all, you mentioned Mayor Bibb.
Sure.
This is the same Mayor Bibb that, made all the huge efforts, air quotes there, to keep the stadium in Cleveland. So, I mean, we saw the kind of the empty offerings that came with that and how it just,
Just felt
we've
flat.
talked about a lot on our show about how it was put out there, regardless of what they want to say, it was put out there just to look like they made an effort of keeping it down, keeping the stadium in Cleveland, when in fact, what they proposed was a drop in the bucket compared to what's needed as far as renovations or stadium projects or any of that stuff. So no surprise there with Mayor Bibb. And number two, is it Mayor Bibb that we get in touch with to help save your tailgate, or is there somebody else that we should be contacting?
Yeah, so I mean, everything can be found on my social media. We'll just use my Instagram just because it's the most accessible and easiest to find. You can go to Instagram. It's Pumpkin Nation. I have all the information up there. I have Mayor Bibb's phone number and email address that you can reach out to contact him to let him know how important you are and what these mean to the city. Also, City Councilman Kerry McCormick, I have his information up there. And I'm urging everybody to reach out, but do it in a respectful way.
Sure.
I'm sure everybody's upset. Nobody's more upset than I am with my partners, but there's a way to handle things. There's the correct way to do things. I feel like I'm running for a campaign now, or like some kind of city office, because I'm kind of directing people and doing this. It's election season, as we all know. So I'm very large, easy to find on social media. So, the city's going to hear from me. They're going to, have to answer the hard questions. I've got my platform, and again, you guys are helping me with my platform, getting the news out there. So, I'm not going to go away quietly. I'm not going to give up the fight. I'm going to continue to do this, whether it's being reinstated this year, being postponed till next year, or finding a relocation. But, I'm not going away. Something's going to transpire. Like I said, the show's going to go on somewhere, and it's just a matter of where and when.
Well, maybe a run for councilman is next in your future. Maybe you might have to take it that far.
Yeah.
Well, look, we appreciate you shedding some light on this. Obviously, huge news for the local area, for a lot of local businesses, and to your point, a lot of local charities that benefit from these events. So we wish you well, and we hope you guys can get this thing back on track, get the parties restarted one way or another. And
we're going to do everything we can on our side to help get the word out as well. So
I appreciate it. The more people we can get on board, the more people that have been to the tailgates that can share their experiences with the mayor and the councilman, I think it will help. I will be downtown at my bars that I partner up with. I will be in full character. We will be having the petitions out. I'm going to be hosting rallies. So, I'm not hanging up the pumpkin. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just unfortunately not hosting events. But, come downtown, show the mayor these are important. Come to the, participating bars and let's still have a good time. Unfortunately, the Browns aren't, doing their part this season, but, that's a whole nother story. But come downtown, enjoy, the Browns flavor and excitement, and let's see if we can get these things back.
Absolutely, and even though they shut down the organized tailgate, there's nothing to stop 2,000 free people from coming down and going to the bars, right?
Yeah, well, I think the city's got numerous problems on their hands because the bars can only hold a certain amount of people. We've hosted these events for 14 years, so even though I'm large on social media, you're still going to have people coming down. You're going to still have people coming from out of town. I've got, the word's been out there. I've been on every news outlet in Cleveland. So yeah, I think the on top of the street takeover people that are still going to come downtown to still cause trouble, you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do with 2,000 people. When We'll see what happens on the 20th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we wish you well. Keep up the good fight, and like I said, if it comes down to a run for town council, city council, we might be looking at Councilman Head soon.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Gus. We appreciate you being on.
Thanks for giving me a time.